We press F to pay our respects for Tobias. I think he finally snapped. I've been pretty hard on that guy. But, after, like, with the Korea trip and everything, when I was just getting blasted every time I'd stream, I know what he's going through with that shit. Dude, that sucks. It sucks to get blasted by your chat all day, and then you wanna entertain, but the game's like burning you out. I think he got. Honestly, I think he just got hammered, not like drunk. I'm saying he just got blasted by Reddit because he had one of those games where he does that like give up thing, and I think he just was like, you know what, fuck this shit. I think he might be done for streaming for a little bit. Dude, I've been there, man. I've had days where I'm just like, why do I do this? Subject myself. People are like, oh, you play video games for a job, and it's like, it's a job. It's a job. And it is stressful. Is there any ways which this is much harder than the army stuff? Would you believe me if I said yes? If I told you that streaming in some ways is harder than being in the army, would you believe me if I said yes? Or would you think that I'm an asshole? I deployed to Afghanistan for a year, by the way. I think, hold on one second.
Just skip into town, so skip it.
Alright. What, you know what it is? I'll tell you why I say that. I'll tell you what it is. It's the fact that I don't think people understand how anything you do gets repetitive, and what winds up happening is with, at least with what, thanks Brood, I love it, all the subs coming in. What I think it is I think you get to a point where you're doing this shit all day, where you're like, every day you're doing this about the same thing, and it's an unhealthy environment, because I'll use my example. Last week, I started doing the Nidalee stuff, right? Where I was outside of my comfort zone, playing a champion that is a very hard champion. May or may not be viable. I have no fucking idea. In terms of like whether or not she's like a strong carry champ to play. If played right. Like, I don't know, because I'm not playing her perfectly yet, right? I don't know, because Nidalee's changed a lot over the years. But I was playing it all week. And I'm trying to get better at understanding the nuances of it and trying to come up with my own play style. And just trying to enjoy the game and enjoy the learning process. Well, obviously, I could just spam like Gangplank probably every game and have pretty good results all the way up, right? And just, it'll be, you know, it'll be all right. It won't be like amazing at high elo, but it'll be okay. I could do that. But the problem is when a streamer or broadcaster wants to do something out of their comfort zone, it's either you do what people know you for or expect from you, or you just kind of get blasted anytime that you try to deviate off of that path. So for me, I obviously know other things other than GP. You've seen me play Tryndamere really solid for a while. You've seen me mess around with some newer stuff like Kled and Jace and shit like that. Pretty decent at it. But what winds up happening is you just get to this point where every time you try to learn, you just get shit on. You just get blasted all day, every day. And the sad thing is, for someone like with Tobias or anybody, it's not even just him. It's just, as streamers, you kind of get pigeonholed into, like, this is what you are expected to do, and if you aren't doing that, then it can feel really uncomfortable because people always want to see you at your best, and they don't understand that in order to be at your best, you will have to have failed a bunch in order to do it. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I can understand where the dude's coming from and just being like, fuck you guys, and just want to take a break from streaming. People wanted to see Cowsep play only Yi. Well, Yi sucks at the moment. I don't think GP sucks as bad as like Master Yi does, but it's one of those things where it's like he feels like he has to play that champion, and anytime he tries to deviate, he just gets shit on. Because viewers on the whole, they just want to see you dominating. They don't care about the other shit before, you know, with Twisted Fate. The fact is, before I was known on YouTube and before I started streaming and before I was doing like Twisted Fate and Italy mid stuff all the time, I was garbage. I mean, I fed countless games as Twisted Fate, countless, in order to get to the point where I looked like I knew what I was doing. Now I'm kind of average at Twisted Fate at the moment, but in order to get back into something or to be strong at something, you have to fail a bunch. So, I don't know. Why I'm saying all this is kind of a long-winded explanation on like whether or not I think like the military is hard. I think that like streaming, it's tough because you're your own boss, and that has its pros and cons. The pros are you can have a moment where you're like Tobias and you're like, fuck this shit, and no one's going to hold you accountable really. But at the same time, it's like you don't know what direction to do. Like for your own sanity at times, like you want to make your fans happy, but sometimes it kind of like seeps into your personal life. Like you'll find yourself being like, oh, I should take a break and do something else or work on myself. And then you find yourself just going right back to League to try to like work out your next big thing to entertain your fans. But like you also, while simultaneously trying to entertain your fans, you got to keep up with your stream, and that in itself is a challenge because while you're maintaining all your all your marketing and all keeping up your stream shit, someone's passing you, like someone's getting better than you at something else, or your style isn't as good. And with the army, yeah, the army's hard in its own way, but like you just do what you're told, dude. Like someone says, hey, asshole, do push-ups, and you do push-ups. There's no thinking. So it's like, it's all pros and cons. And I'm sorry that I'm going into long-winded explanation of this. I think I can relate a lot to that struggle, because there's definitely times the past couple weeks where I've just been like, I want to play and get good at something different, but then I'm just getting bashed on stream, and it'll have a rough game. Stream will be like, well, your champion sucks, just play GP, and it's like, dude, how many games of GP do I have to play before I'm allowed to like struggle and learn something else? Like, can't you trust that after a certain amount of time I'm going to get good at this and it'll be something else? And even I'm still, and I've been doing the streaming thing for a long time, and sometimes I'm like, I don't really know. Like, I told myself at the beginning of the year, I'm going to coach all the time. And then I'm like, then I start coaching all the time. And then I'm like, I want to play. And then I'm like, I want to play all the time. And then I'll start playing all the time. And then I'll be like, I want to do this now. And it's like, you can't, you just hit a point. It's like your brain, it can't stay locked in. So if he's like me and he's trying to spam GP and he's not enjoying it, he's good at it, but he's not really enjoying it, and he's getting bashed, and then he plays something other than GP and he realizes he's not very good at that, and then all of a sudden Reddit comes on and is like, Reddit's shitting on him, it's like, this guy's inting, and then he just, if it's anything like it is for me when it comes to the streaming stuff, where it's like, you could just feel like you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You'll just have a moment where you'll be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then your brain comes in and your brain's like, skip it.
Into town, so skip it, skip it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and to be fair, I don't think I've ever been on stream and just been like, feeding, trying to lose a game on purpose. Never. Never. But it's not to say that I can't understand that.